I get asked a lot of questions when people who don't know what the Stratos is. We'll go into some of the funny ones later, but the most common, of course, is it a kit car? To which my response is, well, because it really isn't. Stay tuned. As you may well be aware, with the Lister Bell in particular, it is no longer available in kit form, and honestly, probably for several good reasons. The quality of this product really deserves more than being labelled a kit car. It's probably more profitable, economical for Craig and Co. to produce fully built cars, honestly. He's got a waiting list as long as your arm, so why bother messing around with kits? Which in itself, if you think about it, could be somewhat of a liability, honestly, with people bodging them together in their sheds. So disappointing though it may be for those of you who missed this boat, I can't blame Craig at all for making that business decision. I think it was the right thing to do, honestly. So let's get back to that quality situation. You may well have heard this story before. The very first car show I took it to, at the end of the show, a charming gentleman came along, knew exactly what the car was because he happened to be one of the original mechanics on the Alitalia Lancia team. And as he looked around the car, he commented that it was way better put together than any original Lancia Stratos, which I'm not surprised. Which is why, to all intents and purposes, it's not really even a replica, although obviously it looks identical. It is actually a recreation and lots of improvements. So it's faithful to the original design with the Fiat X19 door handles, etc. Also used on Lamborghinis. The ridiculous window winding mechanism, etc. No electric windows here. But just things like this. The actual door hinge. I mean, beautiful piece of engineering and vast improvement on the original. It also has a built-in roll cage, which probably helps the rigidity and therefore the handling. Again, the switchgear is all straight out of the Fiat X19, and the dashboard is exactly the same as it used to be in the originals. I'm not entirely sure whether the chassis itself has been modified, improved. Certainly the shock absorbers are up-to-date modern technology, but I'm quite sure Craig, being the engineer he is, couldn't resist improving things wherever he saw fit. Which is why the car is so much potentially nicer to drive than an original deemed a widowmaker. And don't get me wrong, you can kick the back end out on this if you want to, but it'll always let you know when it's going to let go. With its reputation for swapping ends at seconds notice without any notice, and it's very easy to bring it back into line. Again, going back to my particular car, I opted for a turnkey solution whereby Lister Bell pretty much built the whole damn car, to be honest. More so even than a rolling chassis, honestly. I mean, the entire interior was built, all the brakes and suspension were on, obviously. So all I had to do was dump the motor and transmission in the back, and job's good. Yeah, it's not that simple, is it? Unless you know what you're doing, and it's a little bit beyond me, I have to confess, which is why I employed the skills of this fine young gentleman, Mr. Michael Carpenter of Italian Design and Racing IDR down in Phoenix, Ferrari specialist, and a whole lot more. Yes, this young man created a Ferrari P4 recreation from scratch, amongst many other things, too many to list, in fact. And he's currently working on a Ferrari 550 based 250 recreation again. I might have an episode on that. I have episodes. Anyway, back to the Stratos. It was actually relatively complicated in certain situations. The configuration of the alternator and air conditioning unit and everything else meant that we had to source a particular length belt with the right number of grooves, etc., etc. We had to find a pulley wheel, which I think came off some kind of Dodge. And I mean, this is where someone like Michael's expertise just comes in brilliantly, in that he could just find this stuff. It would have taken me ages, probably took him ages, but which is why in my particular case, when asked is it a kit car, no, it really isn't. It was built by professionals who know exactly what they're doing, and it's way more than a kit car. And let me give you some kind of comparison on that with a very well-known kit car builder here in the US, Factory 5, amongst the top for such creations as Cobras. My dear friend Ricky Booby was the proud owner of both a Roadster and then a Daytona replica. Now, I'm not saying it's a poor quality kit by any means, but there are certain things that I found quite shocking, mainly the bodywork. And I think you can see what I'm talking about. I've never seen such shocking fiberglass, honestly. But a short trip to a well-known California body shop, and I think $20,000 later, it did look like this. But bear in mind, with the Lister Bell, it comes out of the moulds looking like this. Prior to getting my car wrapped for my own personal reasons, there was no paint. The gel coat is this good, and each of those body sections is one piece. The front and rear clams, etc. Oh, apart from the air scoop. So, in conclusion, is it a kit car? No. It's a hand-built recreation by skilled engineers. It's alright in a shed. Nevertheless, a fine motor car. If you agree or disagree, then let me know down there in the comments. And while you're down there, subscribe if you haven't already. Give the video a thumbs up. Of course, encourage others to watch my lunacy.